We could all use a little help navigating the news these days. The Consider This podcast wants to give you a hand. 6 days a week, we'll help you make sense of the day's biggest news story and what it means for you in less than 15 minutes. Listen now to the Consider This podcast from NPR.
From the WGLT newsroom, I'm Lindsay Jones. A former McLean County official is calling for an investigation into alleged fundraising efforts tied to a recent referendum. Trevor Sierra was an assistant state's attorney for the county until recently. He says County Administrator Cassie Taylor asked him multiple times for donations to a political action committee promoting a ballot measure that would have eliminated the county's elected auditor.
In my opinion, what had happened was wrong, and it's important for the public and for any authorities that may be interested to look into these facts and make their own conclusions about what should happen thereafter.
The referendum failed, and the state's attorney says her office is reviewing the allegations. The town of Normal has made changes to a proposed ordinance against so-called pop-up parties. The town council will consider the measure tonight. The plan removes a proposed ban on amplified sound and a limit of 50 people at a park shelter. It also loosens the definition of a nuisance gathering. It says there must be multiple violations of town code before the police can order a crowd to disperse. A number of residents had pushed back against rules the town proposed in October. They came after a series of unsanctioned events and one party that involved a fatal shooting. And Goodfield's signature restaurant may be closed, but its status as a busy corner remains. A fire closed the diner in mid-November, but it's still open as a pop-up during limited hours, serving donuts and coffee and selling busy corner merchandise. Owner Derek Vollmer says there's no kitchen, just coffee, donuts, merchandise, and camaraderie.
Right now, it's just somewhere to kind of get together. Staff can get together and see each other. Customers can come in and see us. And it's very nostalgic being at the old busy corner where it all started.
Vollmer says the busy corner hopes to reopen in mid-January. And the Illinois State football team won its first playoff game in 5 years. The Redbirds won at Southeast Missouri State 35-27 on Saturday to advance to the second round of the football championship subdivision playoffs. The Redbirds will play Saturday at California Davis. I'm Lindsay.
We could all use a little help navigating the news these days. The Consider This podcast wants to give you a hand. 6 days a week, we'll help you make sense of the day's biggest news story and what it means for you in less than 15 minutes. Listen now to the Consider This podcast from NPR.